Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Welcome to New Life Live. We are so glad that you are with us today. It's Chris Williams, licensed marriage and family therapist. I have licensed psychologist Dr. Alice Benton. How you doing, Alice?
Hello, Chris. Doing great.
Good to see you. And I have licensed marriage and family therapist Dr. Sheri Keffer.
Hey, you too. Great to be here.
How's it going, Sheri?
It's good. It's good. Better than I'm here with you.
Yes. All right. So, as always, I want to hear from the wisdom of Dr. Sheri. What do you have for us today?
And I've got my pen ready. Taking notes.
Well, you know, I actually wanted to talk about gut instincts.
I like this.
And intuition today. There's been a few things going on in my life recently where I've had to rely on my gut, on my instincts, even in the midst of chaotic situations. I've had to ask myself, what am I feeling right now, and what would be the best for me right now? And that can be more difficult when we're in a situation where somebody is gaslighting us, somebody is lying, somebody is trying to manipulate to get something. It causes us to question our gut instincts, even though they're God-given. We were born with them, but it dampens them. It turns them down. It makes you question your own reality. And there's something called DARVO. It's DARVO, are the initials. But it happens in relationships when there's something being hidden. The D stands for deny the behavior. So let's say something's going on and you notice something, see something, and you go and confront that person. You bring it to them, right? Doesn't even have to be a hard confrontation. You can just say, hey, I found this and on your computer, and are you looking at porn? Are you doing something?
No.
Or I noticed in the finances that there was money missing. What happens is, after you bring that inquiry, they deny the behavior. D, they attack the one who's confronting them. So now they get angry with you. They get defensive. And then R stands for reverse, V, victim, O, offender. So reverse the victim in the offender role. So you end up in a position where you're the one that's in trouble or the biggest offender, and they're in the victim seat. And it's so disorientating. It can make you, again, begin to question what you just brought to them. And that's why it's considered psychological abuse, is because it erodes your sense of self and what you know to be true. So what are the things we can do if somebody is gaslighting you or darvoing you? I want you to seek wise counsel. That's why we're on the show, right? That's why we have such great counselors across the country, because we need to seek wise counsel. I want you to begin to write down in a note section on your phone, like, what are the things that you saw, noticed? Start to chronicle in a private place that no one has access to, not your kids, not the person that's harming you. Share with close, safe friends only. This is not information to bring to the one that's hurting you. It's information you want to get validation for. So those are three things of many, but I talk about it in my book, Intimate Deception, Healing the Wounds of Sexual Betrayal. Gaslighting, deception, oh my, is a chapter that's in there, and I go into it in greater detail.
Well, and I think that learning to trust our gut instinct, not that it's the final authority, but it's giving us really, really important information. And if that's been taken away from us, or if we've given away, how to restore it. And I love those 3 steps, Sheri. That is great. We're going to be back right after this.
I had been in porn addiction. My past had not been found out at all, yet I had hit a point in my life where it was time.
Men are barraged with inappropriate content and images all day, every day. It's a battleground for every man, and the opportunities to fail are everywhere. The Every Man's Battle Intensive can help.
I never divulged what I'd been doing.
Find help today at New Life's Every Man's Battle Intensive.
This is a place that changed my life in such a positive way for Christ, because I could be the Christian man that I'm called to be.
Now the intensive is coming to Dallas, Texas, December 6th through the 8th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50.
I cannot say enough what it does in the Christian community for not just men, for their children, for their wives.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. We are so glad that you're with us today. It's myself, Chris, Sheri, Alice, and also Ben. Ben is joining us from Boise, Idaho on KWXL. Ben, so glad that you're with us today, man. Tell us what's going on.
Wow. Thank y'all, all y'all, your time and concern. May His grace continue to be so evident. The topics you bring up, there's no end to any of them. I can relate to the last few callers with the complex PTSD, learning better to listen with curiosity and being humble. However, the Lord's been good, and I have there's a rupture evident, and it's ADHD, and I have a significant other, a 10-year widow I had met, and we don't practice anything immoral or anything, but we've gotten into this life thing that seems to be bigger than our relationship, and so there's how do you find a therapist that would I don't know, we're both over our 60s. She's 10 years, I'm 12-year widow, or haven't been.
So you both are widowed and you're dating, is that right?
Yes, for like 16 months. And,
okay. Yeah. And so, Ben, if you could say, hey, here is the big issue that we're struggling with. How would you define the big issue that you're struggling with?
Communication.
Like
when that one lady was talking about, man, slow down, stop your feelings, because your feelings, you keep going and going, and being around somebody with this kind of energy, I have this energy usually. I didn't notice how some people, it's just not their cup of tea, but I just have a lot of energy, and it's hypoglycemia. When I'm hungry, that makes me kind of different, and I'm a oscillator.
A vacillator,
vacillator, sorry. I don't know. I have done a little bit of work, but haven't done work on me. But yeah. I'm more of an oscillator and choleric, and she's a sanguine type avoider. And so, like the last caller, gaslighting on this Darbo, sometimes corrective criticism is appropriate, maybe, but if a person already has a defensive, it's like they don't look at those as wounds of a friend, because you're sinning, even with tear in your eyes, you have some compassion that says, I'm saying what I mean what I say, but my body language, my voice tone, my verbal pitch, I don't have all that stuff together yet, but I'm saying it because I care. However, it starts that it goes back around. No, I don't. I did not. And it's like, well, I'm caring. Not too many people will point that out.
Yeah. So Ben, let me jump in here. So, like when you're giving your partner feedback that could be construed
or unsolicited advice.
Yes.
There you go. Okay.
See how good we can be. See how good we can be, Ben.
Well, you know what, though? There's a problem with that in a way that, okay, unsolicited advice. However, if you do ask, allow me to explain. Don't answer for me.
Yeah.
And perhaps when the advice, I understand. You just want me to listen to what your problem is. But there's a time where take a breath, and I have some input too.
Yeah. Well, you want room for your perspective and room to be heard. And it sounds like you and your partner have very different, what I call relational energies and sensitivities.
Yes.
So Ben, if I could go here, because it seems like you have a tender heart and thick skin. So as a tender-hearted, thick-skinned guy, you can hear me. When it comes to words and energy and relationships, you can be a little bit of a bull in a china shop.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
But he's an honest bull in a china
Yes.
shop. I like that about you, Ben.
But it sounds like your partner's the china shop.
Yes, I understand. The
It-
feelings are
yeah.
the
So,
attachment. Like the one guy, it's like, out of life. I started. Well, it didn't end up. We have talked about it, and Lord willing, she'll be my bride. But there's some things have to be worked out, and it's intensive because the attachment is there on both sides. However,
but
the
what's
trust isn't, and it's like,
what's the question for us today? How can we help you? It's
how can you find what's the criteria? I'm in this area. You guys are familiar with all over, so maybe a suggestion for because it's
like
so many
like
things,
good
but
couples counseling
a
or
third
good
party?
resources.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
intensive though. I mean, we don't have time. We're both over our 60s, and it's like, here, let's just speak it true. I mean, be candid. Come on, let's be blunt here. We don't have time to be working 10 years of unless we're going together.
So make it work and make it work right away. And what's the resource that we have for you?
Yes, it's all possible. See, we're going through. It's gotten bigger than that. It's a judicial review on my bipolar mother that was, the other guy that was abused, or I've had a concussion. I had a couple broken ribs. My mom, she'd get off the hook sometimes, but that's the way I was brought up.
Okay, so Ben, let me jump in here, man, because I believe you have a lot going on inside of you. And and I want you to practice something that we're going to lead you into doing better with this widow that you're with. And that's being able to tune in and to listen. And so, Alice, if you were to guide Ben, what guidance would you give him today?
Well, Ben, I know you're right that in a healthy relationship, there has to be honest feedback to each other. So I don't disagree with you there. And the way we deliver it is key in whether or not it can be received. So there are a couple things I want you to look into. And I think it's so wise that you're asking these questions before marriage, although I know you're impatient to get to marriage. You care about this woman so much. I hope you will find out if she has a recovery mindset, which I think you do. And a recovery mindset is this understanding that we're all broken and we all need ongoing character work and sanctification. And I hope that she has that mindset too, that she may know she's an avoider and wants to grow out of it. You know that you've got some struggles and you want to grow out of them as well. So coming at it with that agreement of, hey, we're both broken. We both could improve on the ways that we communicate. And then when you desire to give her corrective criticism, I want you to make sure a couple of other things are regularly in place. Then there's something called the magic ratio, where none of us receives corrective criticism well most of the time, and we almost all need about 5 statements of affirmation and praise to be able to receive one statement of critique. Our relationships have to be overloaded with statements of the good so that somebody can take tough truth about themselves. We were laughing about unsolicited advice, and the brain research says we shut down when we're receiving unsolicited advice. It doesn't work. And so we've got to overload with praise. We have to be really good listeners most of the time, and then ask permission. Could I share something with you, an experience that I have of you? Are you open to hearing it? And once we have that permission with this base of love and a good relationship, that's the most likely time that a person can actually receive a little bit of corrective criticism from us.
That's really good. Yeah.
Let me ask you, Ben, and this is a little brain question for you. So are you open for me to share a little feedback of what
absolutely,
Okay.
please. I'll ask the other one maybe or go ahead. Go ahead. You're the counselor.
Well, so ADD brains are very busy brains. They're busy brains. They're like 10 2-year-olds in a small room with a bunch of toys. And it's just the nature of ADD brains. They can think about 10 things at the same time. And so what's interesting is even in our phone conversation, I've noticed as you're talking with us, you're leading and you're bringing up 2 or 3 things at the same time. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, where are we going? And it's not It's not who you are, it's the brain you have. And I wonder, in your relationship with this woman that you love, if she gets overwhelmed with the rabbit trails that your brain naturally brings. And so one of my questions to you regarding your blood sugar levels and regarding your brain is, what are you doing for self-care with these two organs in your body, right? With the part of your body that has to modulate that blood sugar, the moods that go up and down, and your brain. Are you getting any treatment, any intervention for that?
No, I never have. I knew I was haywire a long time ago. But, no,
You're so fun. So this is what I want you to do. I'm going to give you some homework. I want you to meet with a very good psychiatrist. And I want you, not a regular doctor, not a regular GP. I want you to go to a specialist in the brain department. And this is for your relationship. This is actually a relational intervention. Mm-hmm. I want you to go to a very good psychiatrist, and I want you to be evaluated for what might give you a better brain. Because if we don't get evaluated for our brain, and we just want other people to adjust to the chaos of 10 2-year-olds in a small room as it's kind of coming out towards people and conversations, it's really... We're putting kind of a heavy burden on the person that we love, instead of going, what can I do to make myself calmer? Like, there's interventions. You could look at Cereset also, Cereset. It's an intervention that can help brains. They actually have done some work with ADD, ADHD. But whether it's a supplement, whether it's a psychotropic medication, whether it's Cereset, something is going to be needed to help your brain find a pause, to get a little bit more organized inside, because that will help you pause better with her. It will help you be less impulsive.
You know, it's such a key truth there, Sheri. You know, I always go back to the metaphysical truth of the movie Cars, where Doc is telling Lightning McQueen, if you want to go faster, you have to learn how to slow down. Never is that more true in the ADD brain, and I have one. And in my particular case, I have to constantly learn how to slow it down, and get some of the supplements that help me slow it down as well. So I think that that's really, really important. So I think getting evaluated for that. And once we know what the problem is, the right problem, we can address the right solution. And so I definitely want you and your girlfriend to be able to work through some communication, to get into some couples counseling. I think she needs to, if there is a future in this relationship, she'll need to understand what's going on inside of you. And Ben, I want to share with you something about my personal taste. So I like pie. But there's certain pies I don't like. I'll tell you what pie I don't like. It's lemon pie, lemon meringue pie.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's way too, it just, you know, to me, it's bitter.
I love lemon meringue. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like blackberry pie, because the C's get stuck in your teeth.
No,
but interesting. So why?
Well, it just makes my
twang, just like
It's the twang. It's the twang, like a bad country
it makes
song.
My face pucker up, and it's just like it's not a pleasant sensation to me, you know. But I love chocolate pie. Like a really, really good chocolate mousse pie.
Any of the creams.
Yes, cream pies are the
Nice, you guys are bonded.
Absolutely.
You ADD men are bonding over pies all the time.
So here's the thing: if I'm going to eat humble pie, it's got to be sweet. It can't be bitter.
Yeah, no problem. That'd be okay.
Okay. So
I have no problem with that.
So if you're delivering humble pie, for delivering feedback, you know, we talk about, like, sometimes I'm the bull in the china shop. You want to deliver a sweet pie, not a bitter pie. A pie that she can eat really well, and that maybe you guys can even share together.
And Ben, one of our attachment therapists, can help you with that for the couples counseling that you're seeking. So we can look into our network, our nationwide network of counselors, to be able to get you with a good therapist who can then help you to put into practice what you've been hearing today.
And maybe they'll come to the intimacy for relationships, right? For marriage. But we have couples that come to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That go through it.
And we're going to send you a copy of the book, How We Love. And so, Ben, thank you for calling in today. I want to remind people, or maybe you're hearing from the first time, we have this phenomenal opportunity here at New Life. We have a significant matching gift of $385,000. Anything that you give right now doubles as a result of that matching gift.
I'm pulling out my checkbook right now. No, I'm being serious. I love these double matching gifts because that's when I decide to give, larger chunks of change that can really help the ministry.
Maximizes our efforts. We're going to be back right after this.
I came kicking and screaming. The last 24 years have been filled with pain. I was violently molested and raped from the age of 6 to 13. It has changed everything in my life. This weekend for me has been life-altering. I have realized that God does love me, that this is my story, and that's okay for the first time in a long time.
This is Steve Arterburn, and this is the story of a new life. She came kicking and screaming and now has a changed life. You can be part of offering hope to others as you step out in faith by donating to New Life Ministry.
To make your tax-deductible gift, visit newlife.com and click Donate. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or text NLM to 28950. That's NLM to 28950.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found life recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. Glad that you're with us today. I had mentioned going into the break that we have the $385,000 matching gift. I just want to share with you, here is what financially partnering with us does. One of our listeners wrote in, and she says this: you answer so many life questions and address areas that I am too blind to realize are creating a lot of problems in my life. Your counsel has kept me from running off the road. I frequently pass on your wisdom to pass your wisdom on to my grown children. Knowing you are there in times of need is a great comfort, and I continue to support the ministry as much as possible. And so joining in this great work and partnering with it is only possible with your financial contributions. So as you said, Sheri, follow Sheri's lead. Double your gift today, because this matching gift will eventually provide, and does continue to provide, great fuel for the ministry that we get to be a part of. We're going to go right back to the phones. We're going to Annie in Garland, Texas, who is a first-time caller. Annie, so glad.
Annie,
yes.
Yay! Welcome.
Hi, everyone going?
Yes, well, glad you're with us today. Tell us what's happening in your life.
I am so excited to be on the radio with you all. I was parking my car, and the radio station I was listening to went off, and I was trying to find it, and I got you guys.
Nice.
And I'm a grandmother raising 3 grandchildren, and my 7-year-old has ADHD. He doesn't love himself. He wants to kill himself. He's been in the behavior hospital, 2 of them.
And he's 7 years old?
He's 7 years
Oh,
old.
wow.
And I am praying and also pulling off his hair at nighttime at prayer to sleep because he might open the door and run off and stuff like that. And what I heard made me call because I think it was, not I think, but I know the Lord directed me to this radio station.
Wow.
Because of all that I've listened to and the pain that we are suffering, whether the grandparent, the children, or husband, or sisters, or brother, we are suffering.
Yes, and Annie, let me just ask let me ask a quick question. Sorry to jump in here because it's really an important one. You're raising your grandchildren. Why is it that you're raising them? How did they get into your care?
Because 9 years ago, my son decided to have children without being married, and the mothers of these children, they are not well themselves, and so is my son. They are sick with mental issues and drug habits and stuff like that. My 7-year-old was left. Mother left him when he was 6 months.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah.
And my 15-year-old, the mother left when she was 6 months old. And so the 11-year-old, mom left. The 11 and the 7-year-old has the same mother, but the mother left. So I've been blessed to be alive to raise these children.
Yes.
And I'm only by the grace of God that we are surviving doing the things that we do. They're in school and they love school, but recently this 7-year-old is just been a challenge.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and Annie, what is there a question that we can help you with? It was like, hey, here's what I want you guys to help me figure out. What is that?
Hey, I want you guys to help me figure out a good counselor or a way that I can be able to help my family, because I'm not running other answers because I'm praying, but I don't have anything to hold on to because I'm always tired.
Yes. Yes.
With school and everything. This is new to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
The mental issues in the young children, is very new to me.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling with it. How can I get help?
We can point you in the right direction, Annie. Would you tell us, are you doing this alone without another adult in the home?
I am. I'm a single grandmother, and I'm a senior citizen. Yes, I am.
And you mentioned that the 7-year-old, I think, has been hospitalized. Are the children in any ongoing counseling and family counseling with you?
Because they have been removed from their home several times, so you have CPS involved. And the only counseling that we get is with a CPS counselor. And I won't criticize CPS because they're helping a lot of young people, children, but I think biblical counseling would be the best because the counselor will.
Well, Annie, let me jump in here because hold on, let me jump in here. So one of the things, the reason I'm interrupting that process is because you brought vulnerable children into your home. But you brought something else you didn't have a full awareness of, nor could you have a full awareness of, and that you brought unbelievable amounts of trauma and pain into your home with little beings that don't know what to do with that. So you are right to call in. God is right to direct you to call in because, as Alice was alluding to, asking if you were doing this alone, this is too big. way too big for one person. And so we're going to go to a break here shortly, but we're going to come back and we're going to give you some guidance and direction on getting the right help that you need for you and your children.
I had been in porn addiction. My past had not been found out at all, yet I had hit a point in my life where it was time.
Men are barraged with inappropriate content and images all day, every day. It's a battleground for every man, and the opportunities to fail are everywhere. The Everyman's Battle Intensive can help.
I never divulged what I'd been doing.
Find help today at New Life's Everyman's Battle Intensive.
This is a place that changed my life in such a positive way for Christ, because I could be the Christian man that I'm called to be.
Now the intensive is coming to Dallas, Texas, December 6th through the 8th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50.
I cannot say enough what it does in the Christian community for not just men, for their children, for their wives.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. Club New Life changes lives.
I think I go way back to listening to New Life, learning so much from it, and then becoming a Club New Life member.
Club New Life is a monthly giving family that helps New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people.
You know, I'm so thankful because you know why I keep giving? Because I keep learning, and I'm so thankful for all the lives that you touch every day and the people's lives. So when I get to still hear the radio show, it's just so encouraging to my heart.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
And you know one reason I give? Because I feel like sometimes I'm hiding behind a counselor's couch listening to all this great information and not paying, so my guilt of this great advice is alleviated by being a Club New Life member.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. And together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. So glad that you are with us today. We are talking with Annie in Garland, Texas. She is a grandmother raising 3 children who have been through unspeakable amounts of pain and trauma in their early life. So, Sheri, where does Annie go from here?
Yeah, so just give me one piece of information. How long have the kids been with you?
Oh, off and on is about 7 years. They will go home and come back.
Okay, so 7 years.
They are, yeah,
full-time?
They are with me full-time now, and I'm the only person in my home. I was married for 37 years.
So let me ask you this. I want to give you some feedback. So I just want to know how long they were with you for 100% of the time. Is it like 3 months, 6 months?
Oh, about a year now.
Okay. So this is what I would suggest. I think your instincts are right. I also worked along with CPS. I was a social worker, adoption social worker. And so when I would go and see families, I'd spend like 30 minutes. And it's not real therapy. So I do think that they need to be in a therapist's office. Now, if you ask your social worker to add therapy to their treatment plan, you may be able to get that covered by CPS, by Child Protective Services. If they're paying you, are they paying you some funds right now to help support you taking care of them?
They are not paying me because I'm the grandparent.
That is so sad.
I have to take these classes.
But they're not paying you. Okay. So then
they're not.
Yeah, that's so sad to me. It's tragic because I think as family members, especially when there's a family member that will take them in, it's expensive, right? Mm-hmm. But I want you to stay on the phone because we're going to look for someone in your area who specializes in kids. We've got therapists all over the nation, but I know we've got someone near you. I just know we do. Mm-hmm. Texas, we've got a lot of therapists in Texas here with New Life. And I want you to start taking the 11-year-old to begin doing some child therapy with them. Because when you have instincts that you're afraid your child's going to run out of the house, I want you to listen to that. I started the show with trusting, talking about intuition, and you're probably picking up on flight. When there's trauma, there's fight, flight, freeze, and fold. And you might be picking up on the fact that that child wants to just run, even though you don't know where they'd run to. They just are trying to run to something that is safe. I would say that 7-year-old needs lots of hugs, attachment, bonding, reading to them. Is it a boy or girl?
A boy.
Okay. Playing with his toys on the floor, getting down on the floor and just spending 30 minutes, 45 minutes playing with his toys, following his lead as he's playing. Those are things you can do right now to secure the attachment. But we want to get you hooked into somebody that can help you with calming, help him attach better and calm his system down.
Yeah, one of the interventions, or one of the types of therapy that is oftentimes used with childhood abandonment and ruptures and the pain that your children have gone through, is trust-based relationship interventions, TBRI. And I would encourage you, and it actually started in Texas at the University of North Texas with some researchers there.
Wow.
And so I would really encourage you to check that out, see if there's therapists in your area who specialize in TBRI, trust-based relationship interventions.
Annie, I also want you to get very needy with community. And by that, I mean ringing the alarm bells that this is more than I can handle, and I need some troops to come in and help me. And so there may not be many family members you trust, but I want you to get loud about your needs, your family's needs within the church community. And if you're not invested in a church community, get in there, because this is when the body of Christ needs to come alongside you to help you. And there's something called respite care, where when you're fostering children, even though you may know about it, even though they're your family members, you need some break sometime where they go to a different trusted home for even just a couple of days so that you can get a break. Lastly, there are therapeutic alarms that can be put on children's doors or on the doors to the outside of the house, so that if somebody tries to leave at night, that you're alerted to it. Because if you're not getting sleep at night, you can't have your full capacity during the day to help these kids. And we're so proud of the job you're doing for your grandkids, Annie. You're under a lot of stress.
Yeah, that's really good. So, Annie, we're going to send you a copy of the book, How People Grow. And I think that is a book that shows you these developmental processes that are really important, that move us into adulthood, but also show you what happens when some of those things are missed or not done.
And can we send her How We Love Our Kids?
Yes, we can definitely send her How We Love Our Kids.
Because that's an attachment-based book. Thank you for letting me through that in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We'll give her a twofer. Keffer twofer.
Keffer twofer. I love it. That might be a thing. So, Annie, thank you so much for calling in today. And we love the fact that you are such an engaged grandmother. We need more like you. We're going to go back to the phones. We're going to go to Rachel in Reading, Pennsylvania, listening on WBYN. Rachel, talk to us today. What's going on?
Hi. I'm so glad I got to be on the show today. I know Sheri's there, and Sheri, I'm so looking forward to your advice right now. Of course, all of yours, but I had called back in July, and for the first time opened up about my husband looking at porn. I'm trying to be quick because I know I want you to help other people too. But I found some intense porn that he had been looking at October and November of last year. And after the second time, I told him, I gave him the boundary, that this cannot keep happening. It absolutely must stop, or this all goes away. We're married 36 years, and I've been forever dealing with him looking at other women, the wandering eye, young girls, and I'm only getting older. We're married 36 years, And so I went and spent the whole year keeping track of his search histories, and, he finally stopped at the end of January of this year, that I haven't been able to detect anything. And I'm looking in numerous places, checking his phone, checking our home computer, checking his Google history. everywhere. And I'm like, wow, he's really being very good. And he's always the type to sweep it under the rug and absolutely just ignores it like it never happened. That's how we always solve our problems.
Rachel, I'm going to insert a question here. Has he stopped by white knuckling and strength of the will, or is he also in a recovery process to help him stop?
He is not in a recovery. Like I said, we cannot talk about anything. So he just says he's going to stop, which he did in October, and I found he was still looking again in November, and that's when I put my foot down.
Rachel, what's your call today? Because I know something happened.
Yeah. So
okay.
I went to Restore 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I got a ton of information there, and I started feeling better because I'm like, man, you know, his personality's changing for the first time. He's being softer spoken. He doesn't get frustrated as easily, which is saying a lot because anytime we have a little confrontation, it feels
so Rachel, let me jump in because we're going to run out of time here quickly. So, is there a question? Yeah.
Yesterday, I happened to just look at his phone, and I found that he's locked his deleted photos, and he's hiding photos, and you cannot get in there. He's locked them. I didn't even know you could do that. And now I know he's looking.
Yes.
He's got stashed there. So now I'm to the point where I know I have to say something to him. I'm Catholic. I'm a devout Catholic. Have been my whole life. He does not practice the faith. He does believe in God. I know he prays, but that's the extent of it. If I have him sit and watch
I'm so sorry to do this, Rachel. I do have to jump in. What's the question for us today that we can help you with?
Well, I'm scared to death to bring it up to him, and I'm afraid of what might happen. And I guess I just need to push or some advice on what I need to say to him to get him to go to every man's battle.
Yeah.
You are courageous. You wouldn't have called. You've just been to Restore. You're doing the right thing. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid that he...
Oh, we just lost her.
Well, she'll call back.
Yeah, we'll get her back.
I know she'll call back.
But let me start here, because this is for all the guys out there. If you think that brushing a big problem under the rug solves the problem, it only creates a tripping zone for everyone else, including yourself.
Yeah.
And so I know it's scary, I know it's hard, but if you are struggling in this, get to Every Man's Battle. It's coming up December 6th, and I really mean it, because this only creates pain. We'll be right back.
We all face days where life throws us a curveball and our routines or plans get disrupted. Things we wanted to do are forced to take a backseat to the unexpected demands of the day. If you normally listen to New Life Live on a radio station, well, you might not be able to that day. And on these hectic days when you're feeling stressed or frazzled, hearing the sound of counsel given on New Life Live is just what you need to navigate the unexpected things of life.
Every time I'm troubled or I have a problem, I'll cut on New Life, and there's always something that is said that is helpful to me.
By listening, I have learned more than I can ever express about how God wants me to live.
Download the New Life app for the easiest way to listen wherever you are and at a time that's convenient for you, or watch the show on our YouTube channel. You can even subscribe to our podcast from your favorite podcast provider. You never have to miss a day of New Life. Wherever you are, we are.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for over 34 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for your life and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly. And it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow. Call 1-800-639-5433.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. We're talking with Rachel in Reading, Pennsylvania. And Rachel, jumping in here right away, I just want to say, as a guy who has struggled in this particular area and who helps others, any problem that remains unaddressed is a problem that grows.
Yes.
Got it? So
Yep.
I would even, let's say I give him the benefit of the doubt, which would have to be an enormous benefit of the doubt that he has not acted out in porn over the last year. He's a ticking time bomb.
Right.
Right? And so
Yeah.
this is affirming what's happening inside of you. And I want to hand you off to Sheri to affirm where she started, is that your instinct and your intuition are screaming right now, and we really need to listen to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have a copy of my book, Intimate Deception?
I do. I bought it right away.
Good.
When I got off the phone the first time with you guys, and it taught me a lot, and I just finished a day ago, Wired for Intimacy.
So now I want you to go back to one of my chapters. It's on boundaries. It's no is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. I want you to go back and read that whole chapter on boundaries.
Okay.
Because when you go to him and talk to him, there's a boundary structure that can sound something like this, Rachel. I'll just use the name Jeff, right? Jeff,
okay.
I'm entering into this conversation with you because I care about our relationship and I want it to be safe.
Mm.
I want it to be healthier. I just got back from Restore.
Well, he doesn't even know that I went to that. He knows I went somewhere.
Okay, but he didn't know. All right, so that's okay. You don't need to let him know that right now for the sake of conversation. Okay. Number one is I'm having a conversation with you because I care about a relationship and I want to be safe. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is right now I'm not feeling safe. I'm picking up on the fact that you might be looking at pornography or doing something else. I don't know. I just am picking up on it, and I need to feel safe. That's what I'm looking for. That's the second thing. Yeah. You just tell him what the problem is and that you need safety. The third thing is I need you to go to Every Man's Battle. There's one that's coming up. It's on December the 5th. And I need you to go. Yeah. That will provide safety for me. And number 4 is, now if you choose not to go to Every Man's Battle, because I can't make you go, if you choose not to go, that can be your choice. But if you don't, blank. That's the impact statement. And that's what you have to be willing to lay down. That's the boundary. What are you willing to do? Then I'm going to ask for you to be in a separate bedroom. Or I'm going to ask you to, whatever it is, I don't know how I can continue to be in this relationship. That's a soft boundary. But you've been saying that for a while. It has to be something that has impact on him. And I don't know what that is, and it's longer than what we can talk about on the show right now.
Right.
But there needs to be some impact, and that's where the boundaries come in, and a consequence or an impact statement, something that's going to disrupt his world if he doesn't go because you are serious.
Yeah. And Rachel, I just encourage you to stay very, very connected to your recovery. Stay in Sheri's book, stay in your community from Restore, because what you're needing right now, what Sheri's leading to is clarity. What's the clarity that I need to restore? Because one of the things I hear in your voice, even the fact that you went to restore and your husband doesn't know, is a clear indication to me that your marriage is beyond crisis right now. It may not feel like it, but it is.
No, it is. It is. That's what I'm afraid of.
Well, let me just...
I still love him.
Yes, but let me introduce you to the fear. Your marriage is in crisis. And so again, that the problem that's unaddressed just continues. And in that crisis, your heart needs deep care and support, strength, love and strength. And I just want to add one more thing. Your husband, he is in crisis. And I only know that because, well, one, it's not my first rodeo, but this, the personal and professional journey of this is that when we have long patterns of sexual acting out, that is a problem, but it's also a very, very significant symptom to a relational brokenness inside of us, an inability to be close. Some would refer to it as an intimacy disorder. And it is, because it causes a lot of relational disordered and disruption and even pain. And so part of this is not punishing him. The biggest part of this is inviting him into his own health. Every man's battle is nothing more than a phenomenal gift for him to end his internal turmoil, his internal struggle, his relational ruptures, and begin to move into much greater life vitality. I'd even encourage you in him to check out the podcast. Listen to it. But I love the hard boundary of go to Every Man's Battle.
Yep.
Or I will fill in the blank.
And figure out what that is, what you're willing to do. And I love that you brought up a point. Boundaries are not about punishment. They're about protection for you. That's why safety. You need safety. That's a boundary, but how can you get safe?
Yeah, that's really good. Rachel, thank you so much for calling in today. And we know, as unfortunate as it is, that you're not alone. But by calling in, by people calling into our show, one of the things that we hear all the time, and we know all the time, is that you are leading other people that are struggling with a very similar and same thing in their own lives. And that this is an act of great service and courage by calling in. It's Friday, November 15th. We're going to be back in studio next week. If we didn't get to your call, or you would like to call in and you would like to talk to us, please give us a call, 1-800-229-3000. When we're in studio, we would love to talk to you. Also, we have these intensives. As we mentioned before, Every Man's Battle Intensive coming up December 6th in Dallas. There's an early bird special. It ends November 22nd. And we also don't want finances to be an issue. If you cannot afford this and you need scholarship or price reduction, give us a call, 1-800-NEW-LIFE, and we can walk you through that process to see if you're a good candidate for that. We also have Intimacy and Marriage coming up. It will be February 14th here in Orange County. And if nothing else, if you're in a cold weather area, Orange County in February is a phenomenal place to be. But more importantly than that, working on your marriage is an amazing investment that has a great return. Thank you, Sheri and Alice, for being with me today.
You bet.
Thank you all for being with us and tuning in to us today. And until next time, be well.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again on Monday for New Life Live.
Thanks for watching today. We love helping people. I hope you sense that. And we know that there's always hope if you find the right resource. Now, if something we've said to somebody else applies to you, that's fantastic. That's what we're hoping for. But also, if you want to join us directly, you can call 1-800-229-3000 between 1 and 3 Eastern Time, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Those are the best times to get through. And while you're here on YouTube, check out these other videos that we've done to help people see where they could grow or a different path to take. And if you do that, would you give us a thumbs up on the video, and please subscribe to this channel. There are many ways that we can help you outside of the radio program, and it's very hard for some to pick up a phone and dial 1-800-NEW-LIFE, but when you do, we put you in touch with somebody who cares about you, knows all the resources out there, and they're going to find the best for you. There is no reason to struggle alone. I hope to see you tomorrow. Hope you'll invite somebody else to come and join that maybe needs just a little bit of help along the way. I'll see you next time.